I want to talk a little bit about our program format. I mentioned it a little bit earlier that it was a bit different than most internships. And I just wanted just to sort of show you that we have a main office, which is in downtown Pittsburgh, and that's our administrative office for all of the whole company. But the internship is based out of here. So this is where basically you spend most of your time with the internship in terms of if this is the home base. And the center room is pretty much what we call the DI room. And there are computers in there and lockers and whatnot. But most of the time when the interns are here, if this room isn't used, they kind of gather in here and bring their own laptops and do some work when they have to. But for the most part, with this internship, you're pretty much on your own. And I'm going to go through the format a little bit. So you would start this internship sometime probably mid-August, and there is approximately a 2-week orientation period. And the orientation is an opportunity to, number one, meet all of your fellow interns. And we go through basically the whole manual and explain what you're going to be doing for the next 8 or 9 months. At the end of that orientation period, you pretty much get your rotation schedule, so you know where you'll be, and you'll pretty much know all of your assignments and projects. That we try to keep you focused on the ones that are more urgent or more that will be done more near, rather than the ones that are going to be happening in April or May, because you can get very overwhelmed. So the orientation is an opportunity to meet everybody that's involved with this internship, and not to steal the intern thunder, but there's like a luncheon where everybody comes together and gets to meet all of you, site supervisors, the mentors, the board members, and it's also, we offer a lot of classes, basically like Diabetes 101, we'll do some anthropometric training to kind of make sure that everybody's on the same page. And if, there's something at that point that, let's use diabetes as an example, that you don't feel that you're up to snuff with, then you can go to our instructor and then she can give you some resources or whatnot. Because with everybody coming from different universities that have different backgrounds, even though it's the same degree, every school, every university has strengths and weaknesses. And so this is a way to kind of let you know where you are. So orientation starts, or orientation finishes, and then you start your rotations. Now, what is unique again about this is you'll rotate through about 14 different facilities. Some rotations could be as little as 1 week. Other rotations may be as many as 8 weeks. I like to say that your rotations begin at 12:01 a.m. on Sunday and end at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday. Okay? Now, it's not that you're always in rotations all those times, but once you are in your rotations, it is a site supervisor's call to make your schedule. So there may be some facility that they may want you there at 5 a.m. And there may be another facility that they need you there on weekends. And maybe it's not even a routine thing. Maybe there's an opportunity to take part in something special, like maybe, Giant Eagle shooting a commercial. And they are doing that at 2 o'clock in the morning in one of their grocery stores because there's no traffic then. So your schedules are going to be are going to vary. And my expectation is that this internship is your number one priority, that, this is where you are focused, because this internship is truly what you make of it. We give you all the resources, we give you all the contacts, we give you everything that you need, but you need to take advantage of it and put the extra time and energy. There are things that, yes, there's a check sheet of what you have to accomplish to graduate, but there are so many opportunities to do other things that through the site supervisors, through the mentors, through some of the others like special affiliations that we have, that it is just an opportunity to have so many different experiences and grow your wealth and knowledge and network that it's what you make of it. I mean, you can do the minimum and get through the internship, but really, there's just so many opportunities, and quite honestly, this is the last time probably in your education that you will be able to just make learning a priority. You know, once you start working and start to have other commitments, you can't do that. And many times, you know, I schedule something for the interns to go to, and I sit there and think, boy, I need to get updated on that, or boy, that sounds really neat, I need to attend, so I put it on my calendar, and then right when, you know, the time comes, it's like, okay, there's some budget crisis, or there's something else, and I can't attend it. So this is the time for you to really take that advantage and run with it. There are, this internship, as I said, you will be on the rotation sites pretty much by yourself. Even though there will be 12 interns, generally speaking, for the most part, you are not at a rotation site with another intern. So, you have to be comfortable going to these sites by yourself and being there. Okay, so you start your new rotation. Before you go, about a week and a half or so before, you call the site supervisor and you say, hello, my name is Mary Smith. I'm your next intern's, you know, ready to start with you in 2 weeks. You know, what do you need to tell me about, you know, the rotation? And it'll be things like, you know, possibly how to dress, you know, where to park, whether or not they, you know, what you have to do for lunch, that type of thing. And so then you have to be comfortable going to that rotation, finding it first, being on time, and you know, introducing yourself, getting used to the facility, you'll have your list of competencies that you need to complete, getting through the competencies, and you know, and just learning and doing all of the activities. Now, and the toughest part of this internship is once you just start feeling great, like, boy, I can do this, I love this rotation, and, you know, I'm ready to be a dietitian, you're going to leave and have to start all over again. Okay? And that is truly sometimes the toughest part. And, you know, and sometimes you'll just, you know, maybe on day 1 or day 2, boy, you know, I don't really want to deal with the elderly population, or I don't want to deal with little kids. But you have to complete the rotation, and you have to make the best of it and learn, because that's the whole thing. You're going to see the whole population spectrum, and you're going to see dietitians in a whole wide variety of settings, both traditional and non-traditional. Okay, so that is the tough part of this internship. Okay, I am not there to hold your hand. I'm here if you need me. But the way that I you know, feel about this internship is this is the threshold of going over to your professional career. So right now, generally in undergraduate, you know, it's pretty structured and pretty much, you know, there's always someone there and checking on you, and not that we don't check on you, but it's more like you have now become an employee of Adagio in the sense that I give assignments. I expect you to do them. I expect you to manage your schedules. Okay, so time management is really key, because you are going to have your rotations, you're going to have evening classes, you're going to have other projects that you have to complete, sometimes in the evenings, sometimes on weekends, and you have to manage all of that. Okay, so, you know, you need to be comfortable with that environment. The other thing is, and I do not want to minimize this, and it's one of the reasons probably I didn't cancel this open house, is because you have to be comfortable driving. You have to be comfortable, you know, the rotations are probably in about a 50-mile radius. And, you know, and for one rotation you might be, you know, 5 miles from where you're living. The next rotation you may be 25 miles. But it doesn't last forever. But in order to give you the breadth and depth of the different experiences, it can't all be housed like door clothes, okay? So, you have to be comfortable driving. You have to have a good car. You have to be fairly good with directions, or have a good GPS, one of the two. And and you have to be willing, and again, probably in this group, we don't have as many that, are from California or Florida, but, you have to be ready to deal with this kind of weather. And I don't want anybody to risk their lives by any means. This again is your judgment call, just like it's my staff's call as whether they drive into work or not. But, you need to be responsible in, calling and saying, hey, I'm going to be late, the roads are a little bit bad or whatever, but you still need to show up. We do not cancel things very readily, okay? Mostly, all of the site supervisors, mentors, everybody that's really involved with this internship are volunteers. They are committed to the profession. They have a wide variety of background. Many are nationally known in their field and have received national, state, and local awards. And so you end up with a very good network of individuals and also of mentors. Okay? So, let me go back onto the PowerPoint. That was kind of my program format. Oh, the one other thing that I wanted to cover, and I'll get back to that. This again is our focus. We have a business approach using entrepreneurial skills effectively to practice nutrition in the community. And we focus a lot on marketing, we focus a lot on promoting our profession, and you're going to learn the basics, but that's really kind of where we are, because we need to be out there and promoting our profession. Okay? There's something that I wanted to go back and say, and I forgot what it was now. Okay. Oh, again. Before I get on to this, our internship, again, is very different than most, and you'll be rotating through a variety of different settings, and I don't want to minimize that. You need to be comfortable with that as an individual. If you feel you work better, in a more structured environment, this internship may not be for you. But if you're willing to be adventuresome and and you have the personality that's comfortable with meeting new people all the time and just kind of going with the flow, because one thing I look at or look for is probably flexibility, because I never know what's going to happen, and I don't know who does anymore. And you're going to get real life experiences, and we have to deal with them. Okay, so the admission process, and the one thing that I want to make clear, very clear, is that our internship deadline for applications is earlier than everyone else's, just about. And the reason being is because I take the time, I want to go through, review them, and then I set up interviews. I feel very strongly that I want to meet you individually, and you need to be able to ask your specific questions in the interview process to make sure that it's a good match. So that is why we have the early deadline. Okay. Obviously, you have to meet, and that we should have revised that. We have to meet the AND requirements. You need to submit your application online with DICAS. There is we like to have your current resume, and there's an addendum that you can get off of our website to the portal. And then you have to make sure that you register with D&D Digital by the 15th. And then in order to be considered for our program, you would need to put us as a selection. If you don't do that process, it doesn't matter if you're our top candidate, it's not going to match through the computer matching. Okay. So everything is due by January 10th. Questions on You all got that down? If you write anything down, write that down, yes.
So when we register with D&D, that doesn't need to be done when we apply?
No,
But
you just have to do it. D&D is essentially taking you into the matching process.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to make your selections and rank.
Okay.
That's kind of a separate process than the die-cast process. Okay. In our internship, we look at things a little bit differently. Most programs look at having nutrition therapy, community and food systems management, and you do 8 weeks of this, 16 weeks of this, 12 weeks of this. We don't do it like that. We break them down by rotation, or by actual rotations, because here, when I'm working, I don't say, all right, well now I'm going to do my clinical part, and then I'm going to do my management part, and then maybe I'll go over to food service. That's not how it works in real life. So though there are focuses in each rotation has a little bit of a component of probably just about all three in them, okay? So, if you say to me, well, how long is my management rotation? Well, you're actually doing your management rotation in several facilities, okay? And you'll get to see that. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to talk about where we focus on food service management. Okay, Health South Harmarville, which is a rehab facility, probably about 15 minutes down the road. It's a fairly large facility, and you'll get to do your rotation there, as well as the last week of that rotation ends up being staff relief, where you get to do usually a theme day and learn a little bit more about management skills. And there's some of our interns. I think that's on her theme day. Is that right, Edie?
Oh, that was prep.
Prep.
We have
Okay.
another slide.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
You need to be creative.
Okay. Then we have also some of the rotations we cannot have. Everyone goes to Health South Harmarville. Some of the rotations, because they are smaller or don't have the same amount of staff, or because of the length of our rotation, they can't take all 12 interns. So some of you will get to go to Deer Lake School District, while others will get to go to Wanata School District. Basically, you complete the same competencies, but you are doing them in different environments. And then to make sure that the education levels or what you're getting is equal, we come back and have seminar at least on a monthly basis with all of the interns and talk and share and compare about the rotation sites. And additionally, we have a topic of the month, like, okay, what are the management issues? What are the legislative issues that are happening right now? And that is also to help us kind of determine, or not determine, but talk about developing our critical thinking skills and our management skills. Okay, and there's Wanata School. And actually Jennifer, the site supervisor, is also a graduate of our program. Okay, and as part of Health South rotation, there's one day that you'll go with the Allegheny County Health Department Food Safety, and you get to go on the other side. You get to go and as they're doing inspections and get to see what it's like to be on that other side for a day. Okay, then the next category is nutrition education. And I mentioned a little bit before about Power Up, and that is our, our school-based program. And that is currently a rotation, as well as it is the focus of 6 of our interns' overall marketing project. And those are the school districts that we're in. And this is just some of the, some action shots of the interns, either providing lessons or doing an activity with the kids in the schools. And Jessica Pollenbein, who is one of the operations managers, along with Mary Salnick, Jessica is a graduate of our program. Next, you heard me talk a little bit about Giant Eagle. Giant Eagle, if you're not from this area, is one of the major grocery chains, and we do a rotation there for 2 weeks, and you get to be involved with a variety of different opportunities with their in-store dietitians, and you get to do some activities at their corporate office, and this is again just some of our interns in action at the various stores. Okay, then our medical and nutrition therapy, our clinical sites, and again, this rotation is 8 weeks. The last week is staff relief. So again, because of the length of it, we have several locations that participate, but each intern gets to go to a new one. So first of all, there's Allegheny General Hospital, which is on the north side of Pittsburgh, and this is again Haley in action. Then we have Armstrong Center for Medical or for Medicine and Health, which Allegheny General is going south on 28. Armstrong is going north on 28, and again, it's a bit more of a community hospital, but again, you get to see just about everything that a dietitian can do there with Sharon. Then we have Forbes Regional Hospital, which is a part of the West Penn Allegheny system, as is AGH, and this is over in the Monroeville area. And then we also have Trinity Hospital, which is actually in Steubenville, Ohio. The site supervisor there, Danielle, is also a graduate of our program. Okay, so that takes care of the hospital rotations. And then we move on to our long-term care. And again, it's split between two. And we have Presbyterian Senior Care, and Marge Lewandowski is the site supervisor there. And then we also have Villa St. Joseph, which is its sort of sister facility, and Laura Grant is the site supervisor there. So you're getting, again, we've already covered, students, we're covering the elderly, we've covered, acute patients, so you're getting the spectrum. Then we move on to public health. And of course, you got to get to Adagio Health WIC program. And again, this is mainly an opportunity for community, but also you get to do a week of staff relief in the last week of that rotation there for management skills. Julie Slynn is the site supervisor for our WIC program, and she is a graduate of our program. And then, just to do a little bit of a share and compare, you also go to Allegheny County Health Department WIC program, which is the Pittsburgh program. And we only do that for a couple days, but it's so that you can see how two programs in the same state that have the same funding can operate differently. Take the same rules and regulations and how they manage to look differently in their operations. But they get together, I think, 2 or 3 days. Okay, then we have our specialty rotations, and this is Southwestern Veterans, and that is obviously a veteran center, and we think it's an opportunity to deal with that particular population. There's a lot of jobs, especially with Veterans Administration, so it's an opportunity to see how that all works and to deal with that population. And then UPMC Visiting Nurse Association. This is probably, if you ever want to know one of your patients is telling the truth about what they're eating, this is the best way to do it. Go to their house. Because you can't, you can see how they're living, what they have in their cupboards, all of that. And Jolene Green is the site supervisor there. Literally, her office is her car, as you'll be riding around with her and getting the opportunity to go into homes and, seeing what happens. Sometimes they're very, very nice homes. And the next time you could be is, something maybe that you, might be not as nice. Maybe the priority isn't being cleaning for that person, but it's all part of the whole spectrum. Okay, and the last piece I want to mention is one other plus that we have in this internship is that we have what we call the Dietetic Education Seminar Study Group. And basically what this is all of the dietetic program directors in the area, which involve Seton Hill University, which is in Greensburg, University of Pittsburgh, the Community College of Allegheny County Dietech Program, Indiana University of PA, and catch everybody, and our internship. We all get together and we meet in the summer and we determine what seminars or activities we want to offer collectively. Because there are so many programs in the area, it was making it tough in the very early days to get Children's Hospital to do a program for each of us, or have one of the major burn centers do a program for each of us. So now what we do is we collectively bring our students together, bless you, bring our students together so that they can do one seminar, say at Children's Hospital, and all of our students and interns can participate. It's an opportunity to open up those resources for everyone, but also it's an opportunity to get to see what other programs are doing and what other peers are doing, that type of thing. So that's another plus that we can bring to our education program. And this is just a photo of, it looks like maybe that one was at CCAC, I think. Okay, now, I am going to ask the interns to come back up, and they're going to talk to you about some of the didactic components. Pretty much, these were all the experience components that you're going to be able to take part in. The didactics are more the classroom, the extra activities in addition to your rotations. Because many times, and I think this group, it was true with two, they're like, boy, I didn't realize how much work this was going to be. I thought I was going to go to rotations and be done. Well, you have a lot of other projects, a lot of other assignments that help meet the competencies that Ann has set forward. And, though you need to do 36 to 40 hours in your rotations at a minimum each week, you're going to have a lot of other things to be doing. So that's what they're going to talk to you about. Let me just grab my seat. Thank you.
Good morning. So I'm going to talk a little bit about general orientation. Karen went over this a little bit. It's 2 weeks long, and during this time, we're able to meet all the other interns, the administrative staff, get to know Karen. We learn all about our different sites, who we're going to be working with, our projects. She goes over the manual, and then we kind of have a general idea of how the next 9 months are going to go. We also have a lot of guest speakers coming at this time, and we have lectures and presentations. She even has a police officer come in and talks to us about safety, so we get to kind of learn about.
It really is a very safe area. It's
It
just all about, knowing your surroundings.
You tell us how to defend ourselves.
Yes.
Rachel and I are roommates, and we came home after that day, and we're like trying to figure out how we would escape our house. And so it's a fun time. And then we also go over interviewing skills, and we have people come in and talk to us about different career opportunities. So it's a lot of variety going on in this 2 weeks. During this time, we also do HEMAQ training, so we learned how to prick fingers and read them, and they do this in WIC, so it's kind of a jump start into that rotation, and it's something that RDs may be doing more often in the future. So we get a little background on that. And then we also do a scavenger hunt during this 2 weeks. So Karen and the other administration staff puts together a scavenger hunt throughout the city, and all 12 of us venture out and try to complete it together. So these are just a few of the places that we went to just kind of familiarize ourselves with the city, and kind of get to know our surroundings. These are mostly down on the Strip District, the macaroni place, the Holy's Fish Market, and Karen kind of ventures out with us. And we also ate lunch at Permane Brothers. I'm sure since most of you are from PA that you know what that is, but I had never been there, so that was pretty fun. Here's a few pictures of us. At the downtown office, we rode the incline, so that was a lot of fun. And then also we went up to Mount Washington. So there's quite a few different places we go during that day. We also ride the T, which is like a subway transit thing throughout the city, so it's a good opportunity for us to get to know the area.
So another part of the program, we do field trips. So one of the field trips we've already done this year is the food bank. So this is some pictures of us at the food bank. I can talk about that day a little more since we've actually done it. So that morning we went to the food bank, and we were in a conference room, and we got to just learn more about what they do in the community and just some of the behind the scenes things, and a lot about their nutrition education components as well. And then we got a tour of the warehouse, and then we actually got to repackage some of the things and inspect them and make sure they were okay to go out to different sites for delivery. And then another, I'm not sure, okay. Another field trip that is on the list that we're going to be doing is going to the zoo, and I know in the past they usually try to do an animal nutrition component there, so I'm sure that's going to try to be organized again. And then if anything else comes up that Karen thinks would be great for a field trip, that's always something that might be put in there too. But it just gives us an opportunity to get out there and experience things we're not getting in the rotation, and just see a few things just for a day or so. And it's a great bonding opportunity as well. We had so much fun at the food bank, so. Yeah.
So next, I'll be talking to you guys about the marketing project. So as Karen spoke with you before, and as all of you know, the Adagio Health internship has the emphasis on the business approach to community nutrition. So I know when I was applying to internships, I was looking at the different emphasis that were on all the different rotations, and I thought it was really interesting to see the business approach connected to nutrition, because you don't see that in any of the other internships. So the project itself is different from year to year. This year we're split in half. 6 of us do a marketing project with WIC, and 6 are doing a project with Power Up. We also are on our own this year. We all are doing our own individual project, which is different. In the past, sometimes they did partner projects or group projects. So this year we've really been thrown into it and got to indulge in different entrepreneurship skills and marketing skills. And it's a great project where it helps work with different populations and different participations within Power Up and WIC. And it really lets you not only strengthen your skills in marketing with populations and actual participants, but it helps you strengthen your skills, as Karen was talking about, just marketing yourself and marketing the field of nutrition. So it's been very beneficial and something very unique in this internship that I really enjoy.
Okay, so the specialty sites, they're different from the specialty sites that Karen was talking about. These specialty sites are of our choosing, so we do 3 of them, and it's just 1 day long. So like I said, you get to pick it, and it just gives us an opportunity to work with a dietitian in an area that we're interested in. So you may be interested in maybe sports dietetics or something that's very specific that maybe you don't get in the rotations, or maybe just something that you want more of. So you can just do that on your own. You may find out just through networking of different places that you can go, or you just kind of reach out and to other people, figure it out for yourself, and then Karen will approve it. So it's a really good opportunity, and we can also do them at home if you're not from this area. So like I'm from Ohio, so I can go home over Christmas break and kind of hook up with a couple dietitians there and do them there. So it's a possibility also for a job opportunity, but not always.
Alright, so throughout our internship, you have to do at least, or required to do at least 2 professional meetings. This is just a good opportunity to network with other dietitians and healthcare professionals in the area, and it's a good professional environment. So they're also pretty fun to go to. We usually go as a group. I guess we've only been to one so far, but it was a good night. We went up to Mount Washington, got to listen to an amazing speaker who has been around the world. He worked in Africa, so that was really cool. And you will then, after he speaks, find an article on your own, kind of pertaining to the topic, and you'll write an abstract on it. We'll bring him to our next group seminar meeting and just kind of discuss them. So it's a pretty good opportunity. You'll just keep your ears open from the start of the internship for any professional meetings you get emails about, or just hear from your site supervisors, and we all kind of share that information. So it's fun.
Okay, our seminars in clinical dietetics, you will probably hear us refer to these as class, and we have them a handful of times a month, typically in the evenings. It's an opportunity for us to review topics in medical nutrition therapy. Also, like Karen discussed earlier, it's an opportunity for us to kind of make sure we're all on the same page, since we've come from different backgrounds, different academic programs. It just kind of gets us all on the same level as far as our MNT knowledge. And there are a few different methods in which we might present these different topics, the way that we highlight different medical conditions and health disparities. And that might be by a guest speaker here in the office, or sometimes there are intern facilitated classes where we take turns talking about things. There's also a cultural aspect where we focus on cultures and belief systems and religions, because oftentimes that affects the way an individual eats, and that's something that we need to be aware of, which not many people, I didn't consider that until I came here. It's very thoughtful. And we also have a few off-site visits, which are really wonderful. Just the other day we went to a dialysis center, and I've never had the opportunity to visit something like that before. So there's really a very wide variety of ways that we highlight these different medical conditions to make sure that we are all up to speed and up to date with the latest information.
And aside from those seminars, we also have seminars with Karen. So that's just a time, like Karen mentioned before, for all the interns to meet with our director. Just a time to catch up with everyone. Since we're at different sites, we don't always see each other that often, especially we're at different sites and getting different experiences. So it's a time to come together and kind of compare what we're doing. Even if we're at 2 clinical sites, we're doing the same competencies, meeting the same needs, but doing different things at the same time. So it's kind of interesting to see that. We also have we've been addressing the news a lot lately, especially with the Affordable Health Care Act. To kind of address anything in the current events that's going on that we need to talk about related to our field. And we do fun things too. We celebrate our birthdays. So we have cakes for everyone in that month. So just a time, like I said, to get together with the interns and director, answer any questions, and kind of get caught up with everybody.
So the next, this is very unique aspect to the internship, in that Karen and the board of directors, the annual tea fundraiser. So basically, all the interns, we come together. We've already had several meetings, and the annual tea fundraiser is basically all the funds go to raise money for us to take a review course in person. We believe this is very valuable. It helps us out financially, and no other internship across the country has this available, to the best of my knowledge. And we just raise money at annual tea fundraiser that we basically all the interns run, with Karen guiding and directing us. And we do little fun activities, and we're in charge of all the events. We're right now in the process of making the favors, and we have to price it out. So it's not just having a fundraiser, it's actually seeing the fundraiser from the groundwork up and then implementing it. So.
Okay. Another unique aspect of Adagio's internship is the fact that you are paired with a mentor when you first start. So in August, we each got our own individual mentor, and they were a dietitian in the area who was a very experienced dietitian, so they bring a lot of knowledge to the table that you can learn from. And what we do is we have to meet with them every month on a one-on-one basis. So it could be at a coffee shop, I meet mine at a restaurant, so they'll buy dinner, which is great, or coffee. It's kind of like they're your mom away from home. And they just make sure that you're doing okay. It's somebody you can talk to and bounce ideas off of, how your internship rotations are going. But they also are there to network, and they may be able to provide ideas for specialty sites because they're very well known in the community, especially in dietetics. So it's a really great thing.
Okay, so as part of the internship requirements, interns are expected to volunteer. We have volunteer community hours, but we are also expected to volunteer at a congregate feeding facility. And a more common term would maybe be like a food kitchen, or excuse me, a soup kitchen, or an on-site meal preparation facility. So it's really important for us as nutrition professionals not only to give back to the community that we're working in, but it's also really important to develop a more well-rounded perspective when it comes to our patient care and when we're counseling. When you're counseling, you take that, and I'm in my clinical right now, so it's important for me to keep in mind that although everyone's lying there in bed, same hospital gown, they come from different places. Some people might not have access to a kitchen or a refrigerator or fresh fruits and vegetables, so that gives an added perspective when it comes to our patient care.
Okay, so the next requirement is to fulfill the nutrition community hours. So here you can see a couple examples of some events that we got to go to and help work at. So this is an opportunity to participate in planning and implementing community events. And we got to go to the Fabulous Food Show, which you can see here. It's in Cleveland, and that was really cool. And we also got to go to the Farm to Table Pittsburgh, and it was like this awesome event that just had a bunch of local vendors. You got to interact with them, see what they're all about, and figure out what's going on in the community, since a lot of us aren't from here. And then you also get to work with Giant Eagle, and so that was really cool too. So those are up there as well. And you just get to gather information and talk to different clients as they come up and ask you questions. Like we were sitting at the Ask the Dietitian table, and we got some doozies and some good ones. And they just come up and ask you right up, like, hey, I want to know about this, or they're just curious, what's a dietitian? So it's really good to interact with the public and just see if they even know what we are.
Alright, so the Cultural Food Seminar, which we haven't done this one yet, we're doing it in a couple weeks, but basically all the interns get to select a country, and then we select a typical food from that country. And we kind of look up some information about that country, and we look up information about the food that we chose, like why it's important in that culture. It's like the history of that food item. And so basically it's just a time for the interns to come together and the staff, eat free food, learn about other cultures, try to kind of broaden our horizons. And we sample food, like we try to keep a variety, so it's like side dishes, main dishes, desserts, and just kind of learn about other cultures. But it's a good time. We all chose a huge variety of different things, so you can kind of choose anything that you're interested in. So good time to eat food. And lastly, the moment we're all waiting for, as much as we love this internship, graduation is usually around the second week of May, and it's a time to really just celebrate all the accomplishments that you've made throughout the year, because as you can see, there really is a lot that goes on, and there's a lot of learning, and so there's definitely reason to celebrate at the end. And all of your preceptors, mentors, the Adagio staff, everyone comes together. Your friends and family are invited to kind of see exactly what you've been doing throughout the year. You can give a short presentation of just the happenings of the internship, and then it's just really a celebration luncheon to go over all of your accomplishments. So, okay. Thank you.